Hello everybody, this is Andrea and you are on the Marketing Innovation Podcast Show. On today's episode, you have Andreea Magraon, who is the head of marketing for Bolt in Romania. And together we will discuss launching national B2C marketing campaigns, as well as dive a bit into mobile app advertising and how to drive awareness and conversions in this B2C space. Hello, Andrea. How's everything going?
Hi, Andre. Everything is okay. Thank you for inviting me to the podcast.
It's my pleasure. So you are tuning in from Romania, right?
Yep,
Awesome.
from our office actually in Bucharest.
Nice. So in order for our audience to get to know you a bit better and to warm up the ground, I know you started off as a journalist and then you went into marketing and you rock and roll there ever since. Tell us a bit about you, a bit about what drove you to this niche and to this industry, and then your growth in, from a journalist to marketeer and so on.
Sure. What can I tell? My experience was built smoothly, let's say, from step by step. So I started as a journalist at Ziarul Financiar, which is the biggest business publication in Romania. I worked there for 4 years. I started as a political journalist because my background is in political science, and then I switched to IT department, which was like one of the best things that happened to me because I met so many interesting people. I learned so much about these IT industries. I met CEOs, people with entrepreneurs who built businesses. So basically, it was super interesting for me, and I loved the domain. Then I got this, let's say, opportunity to go and work in a PR agency. Mm-hmm. And I worked there with Intel. So basically, also with a big IT corporation. It was like a smooth transition from an IT journalist to an account manager working in a PR agency. Mm-hmm. For a big IT company. So basically, my journalist background helped me so much with the PR activity. I worked there for 6 years until mm-hmm. Intel closed its office in Romania. And I felt the need to change because actually I felt like external Intel employee. It was a big part of my life, Intel, and I learned so many things. I started with PR, and then we changed we transitioned actually to marketing activities, mm-hmm. and I focused on marketing after that. After I left the agency, I worked for Flixbus, which is like a big German company, a unicorn in the bus transportation. Mm-hmm. But in Romania, there are only international only international lines, so no domestic transportation. Mm-hmm. But then Taxify came along. Let's say this opportunity came, and I took it in October 2018. Mm-hmm. And I think it was one of the best decisions of my life because Bolt, back then Taxify, is one of the best companies that I worked for. So So in brief, this was my adventure with the company.
Nice. So journalism, and then PR, and then marketing, and now you've been with Taxify, now Bolt, for about, I guess, 2 years. And I know.
Yeah, this month I have my anniversary, 2-year anniversary.
Congrats. And you had a very nice campaign, which we will discuss a bit about very soon.
Which one?
This one, the latest one with Volkswagen. Okay. To celebrate your anniversary. Actually, I can't wait for us to discuss it because we haven't had a chance to catch up on how it went. And, for you guys listening, this is also our first time discussing it. So everything is super fresh. But Andrea, tell us a bit about how was back then Taxify, when you joined the company, you joined to lead their marketing efforts and departments. How was the competitive landscape, let's say, and how was the company at the point where you joined?
When I joined, the company had, I don't know, a couple of hundred employees.
Mm-hmm.
Now it has 2,000 employees worldwide. And at that moment in Romania, we were around 10, 15. Now we are almost 100 in Romania because we have development office here, like a hub for Central Eastern Europe. So we grew a lot. Actually, we are joking that 1 month in at Bolt is like 6 regular months elsewhere. We the ride-hailing company was still competitive. It was the same actually, but Romania is one of the let's say most important markets for Bolt. It was, as I said, a small company which grew so much, and it went through so many things in the past two years. But everything is let's say well now, if we can say well. I mean, with this global situation. But we grew, and I'm very happy that I was a part of that.
So let's see. So you had, obviously, it's a market with some big players. So alongside Bolt, I guess your main ones over the last 2 years, obviously there was Uber, and then it was the classic taxi services that were ongoing. And so traditionally in Romania, until you guys came along, and Uber and everybody that tried to enter ever since, I think Yango, when did they try to enter? I think they don't exist anymore, do they?
They are still here. I mean, I know that they are still on the market.
And then it was also Free Now, which I think they tried.
Yeah, actually the former Clever, let's say.
Okay, cool. So
Clever, Uber, and in when I joined, and now we have Uber, Free Now, and Yango.
And so basically, this is a market where it's very price sensitive, and I think that it's a challenge for you to get customers to stay loyal to Bolt, isn't it?
Actually, of course, everybody's price sensitive, right? I mean, they are watching the price and checking it. So our, let's say, core values is that we are offering affordable rides to the passengers, to the riders, and at the same time we provide high earnings for the drivers. So these are the main cores of our business, let's say, and we want to stick with this as much as possible. Also, of course, the experience during the ride is very important. So we need to provide this to the riders. And of course, as you said, the price is very important, but also I guess the other things are important, like the good quality, the good communication with the riders if they have a problem, the good communication with the drivers. So basically to ensure that everybody is happy and and to show that we care.
So from a marketing standpoint, you came in and you had to lead. So what was your approach to taking the brand and taking it out into the market in the cities that you were operating?
Actually, when I joined, we were Bolt. Then Taxify was available only in Bucharest and in Cluj. And in my first week, I participated, let's say, in the launching Timișoara.
Nice.
So the approach was just to have to take the brand and communicated better to the market. We had a couple of campaigns for riders and for drivers back then. So basically, what we did is to we tried to make Bolt a friendly brand. It was very important for us to make Bolt friendly brand to the riders and also for the drivers. So basically, we communicated through different campaigns. Like we had back then different campaigns, like with giveaways in the cars. We had the Halloween chocolate, in which we gave to the drivers could ask for a free chocolate box with some candies for Halloween. And I know that we had a nice campaign on Valentine's Day where we gave single box. So basically we took care of the single people on Valentine's Day. We didn't forget about the drivers, which are basically a big important part, right, of our business. And we had also different campaigns with that, like top driver kits, in which we gave them a couple of presents. We worked on system with benefits for them. Also, everything to keep them engaged and close to us. After that, the rebranding campaign came, in which we changed from Bolt to from Taxify to Bolt, and we had a big campaign, including outdoor, which is like we do that very rarely in Bolt. As you know, we are measuring everything, and outdoor is usually difficult to measure. But because we had this global campaign in which we rebranded, we chose to have an extensive campaign. What I want to also mention is that social media is a big important part of our strategy. We communicate directly with the riders and drivers. We are keeping funny, personal, human language, because usually people want to communicate with humans, of course, not with brands. And we have regular giveaways with different, prizes, usually Bolt rides, because we want to give to the community something back, of course. And we have that day by day. I mean, social media giveaways are part of our planning every time. Basically, when we plan campaigns lately, we try to have like 1-2 campaigns per big campaigns per quarter, in which we focus on subject, what we want to communicate. For example, affordability. This is one of the most important topics of all, because it's affordable, right, to ride with Bolt. And we built the campaign around the subject. Actually, we are planning some nice, cool campaigns for the next months.
So Halloween again? Because I remember actually.
Also Halloween is on the table. Yeah, it
Nice.
will be a bit different from what we had in the past, but you'll see what is it about.
Nice, because you mentioned about the Halloween campaigns, and actually that worked very well. I'm sure you already know, but I remember my friends that were taking Bolt rides to to work that day, or it was a day or two, and they were writing on the WhatsApp group, "Hey guys, Bolt just gave me a chocolate." This was so cool, and then it was like a little hype around it for that time. So
I'm glad to hear that the campaigns work. So now we are planning, like I said, like 2 or 3 campaigns per quarter. Last quarter, what we had a big campaign. It was called Safety Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, because of this COVID situation, which affected everybody, we tried to educate people to wear masks, because there was a huge discussion in Romania. So basically, we created this fake festival called Safety Festival, in which we gave free rides to everybody who showed that is wearing a mask. And no, it didn't. It wasn't. I mean, they weren't obliged to post something in our cars. I mean, they could post a photo with them on the street, at home, at the office, wherever they were. But the most important was to wear a mask.
And how did you give them the rides? Or how were they sending you the pictures? What was the mechanism?
So the mechanism was, it took place on our Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they had to post stories with them wearing a mask, tag us, and to use the hashtag Safety Festival. Mm-hmm. And we gave free codes,
nice.
many codes. So that was a campaign in which we educated, and in the same time we promoted Bolt as a responsible brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and also it was the campaign for launching our Instagram page.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So now we go into my long-awaited subject, which was your campaign from last week. So tell us tell us about the campaign, so the guys tuning in can know the backstory as well.
Okay, so basically, during the last week of September, we had a cool campaign with Volkswagen, in which our riders could test their new full electric model ID3. What we did, we organized a couple of test drives, free for everybody. On our platform, we created a special category in the app in which people could call for an ID3 and ride it in the city.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the coolest campaign I worked for, because it was also linked to our green plan, in which it's our initiative, or in green engagement, I don't know how to say it, in which all our rides, Bolt rides in Europe are 100% carbon neutral. Mm-hmm. And we launched a campaign during the Zero Emission Day, which mm-hmm. was very cool because it was linked to this green message. Mm-hmm. The collaboration was very, very successful. I mean, we had thousands of test drives, and in 4 cities, in Bucharest, Cluj, and Timișoara, and also Constanța, where we have only scooters. Mm-hmm. So it was a good way for us to promote actually the app. In Constanța, where maybe we are going to launch it also. We are going to launch also ride-hailing services.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So how did you plan the campaign? How did you get it to the market? I guess it was a partnership with Volkswagen as well, who I guess were supporting you.
So we started a partnership with Volkswagen. They came to us with a proposal, and mm-hmm. we gave them the platform for the test drives. Mm-hmm. All the promo and everything was done by Volkswagen together with us. Mm-hmm. And we used all the possible channels, all that you can imagine, from TV to radio to online ads, influencers, PR, we had activity. We used on our channels like direct communications, email pushes to our riders. We also social media, Instagram mainly, in which we also had a small activation with some free rides. It was very, very successful, I have to say.
Nice. So was that 1,000 rides? Was that the sort of limit that you had to give
No,
away, or?
we didn't have a limit. I mean, that was the overall result for all the campaigns. So basically, it should have been. So at first we planned it for 1 week, from Monday to Sunday, and then at halfway of the campaign, we realized that it's so successful, and we extended the timeline of the test drive. So basically, from 10 in the morning and not from 12 p.m. So we extended it, and then at the end of the week, we realized that, hey, we want to extend it for 2 more days, for Monday and Tuesday. So it was a success.
Very well done. Congrats.
Thank you. Actually, it was a good. I think it's a good example of a successful cooperation between brands.
Nice. So I really like the way that you guys approach marketing in B2C. And one thing that we try to do with each episode for our listeners, they come from various industries and so on, but there are always takeaways that can be taken away from each episode and applied into specific businesses, depending on, how each operates. So trying to sum up what we have discussed now and transform this into maybe applicable insights or advice for people that operate, or like marketing leaders that operate in the B2C space. There are some takeaways that I got and I think would be worth giving away to people so that I can apply them. But do you have any main ones, or like a top priority takeaways that you'd like to share?
So basically, first, you need to first set what you want to communicate. What are your strength points? How would you like to be known for? So I would first highlight that. Then I would target the audience for my product. So basically, to who I will communicate all the things that I said. So who are your buyers, your clients, your users, right? Then check the channels that you would like to use. I think social media is one of them if you're talking about B2C, but also B2B. You can communicate it like differently. Why not? After you set the channels, when you have also a budget, of course, because you need to invest in ads, and you have to. So after that, you have to test. What I learned during the past years is that testing is very important. Let's say an approach that works in Ukraine or Poland doesn't necessarily work in Romania. So basically, when you send emails or have an ad or whatever you are communicating, in which form, you should have like 2 or 3 forms and see which brings you better results. This is one of the things that I learned, and we are also implementing here. And I think many should do that. There were, for instance, I can give you an example. There were like some emails that we wanted to send. I mean, my colleagues wanted to send, and I was like, what? We cannot send this kind of subject. Like, it was I didn't approve it, and they said, okay, we tested that, and this email form has an open rate 25% higher than the one that you want. So basically, you should test, because this way you learn how to promote your brand better, or your product, or whatever.
Awesome. And another thing that I would add on to this, very, very good and very on point. Another thing is that, and I think you did this very well, was looking at your users in this case and turning them into sort of my nano influencers into their, group of friends or whatever. And I think that you do this very well also through these campaigns, but also through your sort of day-to-day activity, as you mentioned, with a safety festival, or with using people in order to get to their communities better.
Exactly. So basically, you should make people talk about yourself. I mean, if you don't have necessarily the budget to have a big campaign, like outdoor campaign, that actually we don't have this approach as often as other brands, let's say. You should make people talk about you and engage them. Like, for instance, you can have just some giveaways where you ask people to tag their friends, or to, as it was the safety festival, post a photo with us with a tag of their friends. Or so basically, just give them something and make them talk about your brand.
Super. Awesome. Andrea, thanks so much for all the insight and for being on the show. I know you have a very busy day ahead, so I really appreciate your time and input into this. And for all the guys tuning in and listening, where can they get in touch with you if, let's say, they have a partnership idea, or if they wanted to get some more, to pick your brains on any specific things that they might be thinking of?
Okay, they can write to me on LinkedIn. So,
okay.
And I'm also on Facebook, on Instagram. So, but I'm very responsive on LinkedIn.
Cool stuff. Okay, so guys, we'll have the details in the description below. So if anything is unclear, or you want more information, either myself or Andrea would be happy to help you with anything that you might have going on. And until next time, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Andrea, again for being on the show. Have an amazing day all, and looking forward to speaking soon.
Thank you.
See ya.